Ambassador Zekthara's mandibles clicked nervously as she reviewed the incident reports flooding her console. 3 more Vraxian raid fleets had been reduced to expanding clouds of superheated plasma in the outer rim. The attacks followed the same inexplicable pattern, fast-moving objects appearing from nowhere, devastating strikes, and then nothing but silence where mighty warships once prowled. "This is impossible," muttered Commander Veltar, his crystalline exoskeleton dimming with confusion. "The humans surrendered all their weapons to the Council. We cataloged everything, their nuclear devices, plasma cannons, kinetic accelerators. Every piece of military hardware was confiscated and destroyed. The Galactic Council had been thorough when humanity petitioned for membership 5 years ago. The species was too young, too violent, too unpredictable. Their weapons were crude but alarmingly effective, and their tactical thinking bordered on the insane. The Council's ultimatum had been clear: surrender all weapons technology and accept permanent demilitarization, or remain isolated in their small corner of the galaxy. Humanity had chosen compliance. Earth's representatives had meekly handed over their arsenals, submitted to invasive technology scans, and signed treaties promising eternal pacifism. The Council's member species had collectively sighed in relief, another warlike race successfully neutered. "Sir," a junior technician's voice crackled through the comm. "We're receiving a transmission from the human colony ship Perseverance. They're requesting immediate assistance." Zekthara's eyes narrowed. The Perseverance was one of dozens of civilian vessels humanity had been permitted to operate. Basic transport ships with minimal life support and no weapons whatsoever. "Put them through." The holographic display shimmered to life, revealing Captain Sarah Chen's weathered face. Her expression was grim, but her eyes held something the ambassador had learned to recognize in humans, that peculiar mix of determination and barely contained fury. "Ambassador Zekthara," Chen began, her voice steady despite the explosions visible through the bridge windows behind her. "We have a problem. The Vraxian fleet that was escorting us has suddenly decided we'd make better slaves than trading. Partners, they're demanding our surrender." Zekthara felt her stomach sink. The Vraxians were notorious slavers, operating just barely within the bounds of galactic law. They had been circling human space like scavengers ever since the demilitarization treaty, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. "Captain Chen, I'm afraid the Council's response protocols are quite clear. Non-military vessels must surrender when faced with superior firepower. We can file a formal complaint." "With respect, Ambassador," Chen interrupted. "Filing paperwork won't help the 1,000 civilians aboard this ship, or the mining colony they're planning to hit next." The transmission cut off abruptly. Zekthara stared at the empty display, mandibles clicking with agitation. Another human ship about to join the galaxy's countless victims of predatory species who exploited the Council's bureaucratic inefficiency. 6 hours later, her console erupted with emergency signals. "Ma'am." Veltar's voice cracked with disbelief. "The entire Vraxian fleet, they're gone, all 17 ships. There's nothing left but debris and radiation signatures." "Impossible. Show me the tactical data." The holographic display revealed a debris field that stretched across several thousand kilometers. Twisted metal fragments that had once been proud warships tumbled slowly through space, still glowing with residual heat. The destruction was absolute, surgical, and utterly inexplicable. "What could have done this?" Zekthara whispered. Her answer came in the form of another transmission from the Perseverance. Captain Chen appeared again, this time with what humans called a smile playing at the corners of her mouth. "Ambassador, I wanted to thank you for your concern earlier. The situation has been resolved. Captain, our sensors detected a massive engagement in your sector. What happened to the Vraxian fleet?" Chen's smile widened slightly. "I'm not sure what you mean, Ambassador. We're just a civilian transport vessel. We don't have any weapons. Remember, you made sure of that." Zekthara's mandibles clicked furiously. "Captain, 17 warships don't simply vanish into quantum foam. Our readings show exotic particle emissions, gravitational anomalies, and energy signatures that shouldn't exist." "How strange," Chen replied, her tone maddeningly innocent. Have you considered equipment malfunction? These old Vraxian ships aren't known for their reliability. This is the fourth fleet this month. The Council demands an explanation. For a moment, Chen's mask slipped, and Zekthara caught a glimpse of something that made her exoskeleton shiver. It was the look of a predator that had been told it couldn't hunt anymore, but had never actually agreed to stop being dangerous. Ambassador, Chen said quietly, you took our weapons. You cataloged our guns, our missiles, our warships. You were very thorough. She paused, letting the words hang in space between them. But you never asked about our engineers, our physicists, our miners and metallurgists, and the thousands of brilliant minds you assumed would simply stop thinking. The transmission ended, leaving Zekthara staring at the evidence of humanity's impossible victory. In the depths of space, human colony ships continued their peaceful journeys, protected by weapons that didn't exist according to every scan and treaty in the Council's archives. Later that night, as she compiled her report, Zekthara realized the Council's fundamental error. They had assumed that taking away humanity's weapons would make them harmless. They had failed to understand that for a species like humanity, the most dangerous weapon had always been the mind that could look at any random collection of matter and energy and ask a simple question: how can I make this hurt my enemies? The Council had banned human weapons, but they had never thought to ban human ingenuity. And somewhere in the cold depths of space, invisible to every sensor and scanner in the galaxy, humanity's true arsenal continued its silent patrol, keeping the predators at bay with technologies that officially didn't exist and weapons that had never been invented. The smoking craters would remain unexplained because the Council had asked the wrong questions from the very beginning.